Hello everyone, thank you for joining and welcome to Webinar Wednesdays at RPI. We host these webinars every first Wednesday of the month, and today we are the last presentation. You can register for our April webinars now at rpic.com/webinars, including mine, which will cover healthcare solutions and integrations for next month. A few housekeeping items before we get started. This webinar will be recorded and sent out to all the attendees when it's been posted. You can watch this webinar recording and all of our other webinar recordings online at rpic.com/webinars. You can also suggest topics for future webinars online, and we also have a moderator standing by to take your questions, which you can ask at any time during the presentation.
Hi, my name is James Cho. I am a lead consultant here at RPI Consultants. I have 8 years of perceptive content experience. I am a certified OnBase installer. I have extensive experience in manufacturing, healthcare, and back office solution, and I love my rescue pit bull Coco.
And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Pitts. I'm a senior solutions architect here at RPI with about 6 years of experience working with perceptive content. My experience is pretty much only in the clinical healthcare space, working with their products and solutions there. And I love my Pomeranian tofu. So today what we're going to be covering is OnBase modules and features. It's a pretty simple agenda. We'll talk a little bit about what RPI does and who we are, go over the selected OnBase modules and features that James and I have highlighted, and then at the end we'll do a quick considerations and questions where you guys can just ask all of the questions that you want.
So RPI Consultants is a comprehensive professional services organization with over 18 years experience designing, implementing, and supporting ERP, ECM, and advanced data capture solutions. RPI has over 80 full-time consultants, project managers, and technical architects supporting clients using a variety of different products and solutions, including perceptive content, ImageNow, OnBase and Brainware by Hyland, Kofax, and Infor Lawson. Our teams have helped clients install, upgrade, and optimize software solutions using these platforms and more in almost every industry.
All right, OnBase modules and features. As most of you know, OnBase is an ECM platform designed to house all of your content. It's supposed to serve as a repository for all of this unstructured content. Hyland has productized many modules and features in order to support specific industries and solutions, eliminating the need for any custom development. So here, James and I have kind of selected a handful of features and modules that we wanted to go over. There are hundreds of modules and features that Hyland offers, but these are kind of the ones that we would like to start with as our first webinar. There are a lot of agnostic ones, such as the directory import processor, and even some solution-specific ones like our integration for Epic. So let's get right into it.
So getting documents into your ECM is usually the first step. This is normally done via scanning, or if the document is already digital, then an import interface is usually configured. Document Import Processor, also known as DIP, provides the ability to automatically import, classify, and index high volumes of documents regardless of electronic file type in their native file formats. This is similar to Perceptive's import agent, but offers more robust index capabilities such as external database lookups based on existing keyword data, scheduling jobs to run off hours, and also email notifications. Once you get the documents into OnBase, indexing the data is the next step. There are different levels of automation to accomplish this, and one of the more simple ways to do this is interactive data capture. It's an OCR-based indexing tool that assists users that are manually indexing documents, usually in a scan and link type situation. While indexing a batch of image documents, instead of typing out every single value in the document, users can click on the value on the image and it will populate the keyword. It also has type ahead feature, so when a user starts typing in a vendor name or invoice number, OnBase will find it on the page to quickly index the document. A level above interactive data capture would be advanced capture. It is another automated OCR solution that allows templates to be set up to OCR documents and index them. If you're familiar with Brainware's Learn Set capability, this is very similar, although not as thorough. If you have a solution that has documents that look the same, such as HR onboarding or invoices from high volume vendors, you could set up advanced capture to identify, read the document, and index it with drag and drop configuration that do not require any complex development, and the added benefit of processing an unlimited number of documents. As most of you know, Brainware licensing is done by page count. Screen scraping is another way of indexing data when you have a business application like an ERP that has already master record of data. Application Enabler provides complete interaction between a business application screen and the related documents in OnBase. Users can opt for a real-time, no-click display of documents associated with the enabled screen or access documents and processes with a simple mouse click. Business systems that can be configured without custom programming, scripting, or modifications. Application Enabler provides a toolbox to create integrations with virtually any application. So if you're working in an ERP and you want to look at an invoice, you can set up Application Enabler to first show you with an icon if there's any documents in OnBase that are related, and if you can see, and if you click on it, then it'll pull it up within OnBase.
And kind of piggybacking off of Application Extender, most of the healthcare solutions rely on Hyland's HL7 module, which is built into OnBase. This simplifies the communication between external applications and OnBase through the standardized messaging that HL7 provides. This is the foundation for all healthcare solutions. And with OnBase, there's no need for a separate interface engine. Some of you on Perceptive might be familiar with CorePoint, as that's what the interface engine is used to talk with other healthcare systems. With OnBase, HL7 module is kind of built in. There's three main modules here: the HL7 listener, processor, and sender. What that allows is the ingestion of HL7 messages via TCP/IP or batch files. And then those messages are used to populate keyword sets, create documents. If your HL7 messages come with a base64 encoded PDF, we could regenerate those on the OnBase side, even populate eForms and create patient charts as we gather all of that HL7 data. With the HL7 sender, we're able to send HL7 messages to those downstream applications for documents that originate within OnBase. That allows the integration kind of back and forth between OnBase and your EMR. So kind of expanding on that, the first integration I wanted to talk about was this integration for 3M CAC. This is the computer-assisted coding program that 3M offers. It's a very simple example of a healthcare solution. The documents start within OnBase. They're captured and indexed there. And OnBase, once they're already indexed, will use HL7 sender to send those HL7 messages to 3M, and 3M will store document pointers in their appropriate encounter. When the coders work inside of 3M360 Encompass, they can request images based on those encounters, and 3M makes the request. OnBase returns the document images based on the handle and the page range to 3M, and 3M will display those images within the application itself. This allows for your coders to really just work inside of the 3M platform. As documents are updated within OnBase, we can use the HL7 sender to send updated HL7 messages to 3M to update those indexing values appropriately. Another big one here, one of the largest and most extensive integrations with OnBase is its integration with Epic. This is very similar to kind of how Perceptive integrates with Epic. There's no application extender functionality that's recommended here just because of the shifting context within the Epic application, similar to how Perceptive doesn't recommend using Learn Mode with its Epic solutions. The Epic solutions are pretty tight and seamless, as Hyland has kind of developed its own products to work with the specific modules within Epic. Same kind of functionality here. With capture, we're able to capture through Media Manager and Document Table and getting the patient context at the source. We're also able to retrieve documents using hyperlinks, and even in Resolute, we're page-specific hyperlinks for large documents such as like EOBs. And then with release of information, OnBase has its own release of information module, which kind of plugs into Epic's ROI solution. You make the request from Epic, and then the OnBase returns the images based on the encounter, the documents that you selected, back to Epic, and the printing is done through EPS like it normally would be. And then kind of quick note here, with Epic Welcome, we're able to have patients kind of upload directly into OnBase at that point of registration. Another solution here is integration for MEDITECH. It's another tightly integrated solution. It allows users to kind of view documents within MEDITECH, kind of serves as that legal medical record for long-term storage of medical record documents, and then it allows kind of direct integration for indexing of those documents from OnBase. There's a couple specialized solutions that OnBase offers around the MEDITECH space. It's the front office scanning, which is really just kind of point of service scanning, report capture from MEDITECH, which is just an automated capture of documents coming out of MEDITECH. Back office scanning, which allows for clinical and non-clinical documents to be captured and indexed in a batch style. And then pharmacy express scanning, which is really just kind of a lightweight application that's specific to that pharmacy workflow within MEDITECH.
In most solutions of an ECM platform, it is document-driven, whereas Workview allows for a data-driven event such as claims management to drive the workflow process. It can be used to document and manage all interactions that pertain to the case or claim. Workview essentially allows a capable business analyst to efficiently design and implement a custom database like a mini ERP. Workview Case Manager is a solution for case management within OnBase. Think of any process in your business that are currently managed in spreadsheets, network folders, or access databases. These can be all built into a single platform using Workview. One of the most common use cases is the claims management workflow process. Workview can be used to document and manage all interactions that pertain to the case or claim. If any of you have used a form solution with Perceptive, you know that it requires having developers code the actual form and all different data elements, and there are always supplemental scripts that sync the data or do other lookups or logic. With Unity Forms Designer, an end user can drag and drop fields to create a form and deploy it within minutes instead of hours. There are validation tools that can reach out to external databases, different types of fields, and text box types. Ultimately, this is a great time saver to get forms designed and deployed in a solution quickly by the end users. The Outlook client, also known as the fourth client, allows users to interact with OnBase within Outlook. If a user gets an email that needs to be indexed, they can index the email right from Outlook and even have the keywords set up to do external lookups. The Outlook client also works for retrieval, so if a user gets an email that requires referencing a document in OnBase, they can pull up the document without having to jump to another application. For users that are not power users of OnBase, or are situations where this is the only client needed for them. There are certain scenarios when users don't conventionally work within OnBase still need to see data in the system. The external access client is a way of outside users that are not in your solutions department or even in your organization to access documents or data within OnBase. A good example is a vendor portal and accounts payable where outside vendors can inquire the status of a payment of an invoice. This is something that Perceptive did not have a solution for that OnBase does a good amount of customers have asked for. The interface for the client inherits features of the OnBase web client and even has CAPTCHA security and access to what users can see is fully customizable and can be even set to read only. Another very robust client kind of used within the healthcare space is the Medical Records Unity client. This is part of the Medical Records Management solution that OnBase offers. If you're using OnBase to store your legal medical record, you're most likely going to be using the Unity client to view documents. The idea here is that the Unity client is very synonymous to Perceptive's Interact for Epic suite or Interact desktop applications. This allows instant and simultaneous access to patient information throughout the whole organization. Kind of summarize some of the functionality here into these 4 main points. You're able to search and retrieve your medical record documents straight from the application. This allows chart search, view of all the patient's encounters, even bookmarking chart documents, and then you could even track the chart's history throughout its workflow. You're able to kind of do the coding, analysis, and completion process all from Unity client. The coders are able to view the charts, submit physician queries, bookmark charts. During the analysis phase, those analysts can they can submit those deficiencies to the physicians, route charts as they need to, and even address requests from the coders. And then the physicians themselves can complete their deficiencies. They could reject the deficiencies. They could reroute them as they need to. And Unity client even has kind of proxy functionality, allowing other users to kind of sign in the place where the physician would be out of the office or something. The document imaging piece of this workflow allows you to scan and index batches of documents straight into the Unity client and assign deficiencies as they're captured. The access to
all of these medical records is kind of security driven based on the OnBase configurations as well. So it kind of inherits the OnBase security. Another module here is the release of information. As part of the HIM workflow, the ROI workflow is typically very manual and resource intensive. You're asking your users to go locate documents, copy them, and then deliver them as requested. But what OnBase allows you to do is kind of do all that electronically. As the records themselves are already inside of OnBase, the OnBase module allows for you to do all of this in a much faster way. There's kind of two main points here. There's a standard mode and an integrated mode for the ROI module. Within the standard mode, that's more of a standalone solution. You're able to kind of assign the request to users, attach all the charts that make sense for that request, even do a lot of the billing information, bill the requester, create invoices, reject the request if there's problems. The integrated mode is really designed to complement an existing process. So within an Epic style solution, you'll initiate the request in Epic, and then once Epic has all the information it needs, it kind of passes everything over to the ROI module to kind of handle a majority of the processing, and then pass that back over to Epic for all the EPS related stuff. So the ROI module is pretty robust, and I think it's a pretty big improvement from some of the Perceptive solutions, which is very much custom. So today we just shared a few of the features and modules that OnBase offers. These are just the ones that James and I wanted to highlight today. If you're a Perceptive client especially, OnBase allows you to simplify a lot of your complex workflows. This allows you to kind of standardize your solutions and rely a lot less on custom development. We'll take any questions now.
Yeah, we have a couple of questions, and anybody who wants to submit them, please use the questions pane inside of the GoToWebinar window to do so. The first question is around Epic integration. In Epic, can documents like consent forms or anything that the patient has provided for scanning or signing be marked as received as they are scanned via POS?
Correct. Yeah, definitely. That's typically handled within an HL7 message. There's specific fields within those HL7 messages that we can include that'll trigger those statuses within Epic. I know a lot of the POS scanning is done through API, so we can avoid sending HL7 messages for those documents. But I've done in the past where if we need to trigger a message or a status flip for a particular line item, we would go ahead and send that HL7 message and then just have Epic handle it on their end.
Great. Next question is, does application enabler work with Banner 9, or does it have the same issues that Perceptive's Learn Mode has?
Yes, it does work with Banner 9. It's a lot more robust than actually Perceptive's Learn Mode. It's actually another executable that actually sits on your computer while you have the application open. So there's a lot more configuration and options and compatibility that can actually go into the solution.
Next question is there a migration path from Perceptive ImageNow to OnBase?
No, not a standardized migration path. Everybody's solution is kind of different. We would need to take a look at how your Perceptive instance is configured and kind of how those solutions will relate over to the OnBase solutions and modules. It's definitely a case-by-case kind of approach that we would definitely be more than willing to help out with.
And I would mention that we did last month do a webinar around planning for a migration from Perceptive to OnBase. So definitely hit up our website to take a look at that if you have any more questions on that process. Another question, can I perform workflow actions or document approvals right from the Outlook client?
Yes, you can. So you could customize the actual workflow client or the Outlook client to do certain triggers within workflow and integrate it.
Okay, looks like that is all of the questions we have. Thank you.
Perfect. Again, thank you for joining. As a reminder, this will be recorded and shared once it's posted. If there's any specific topics or OnBase modules you guys are interested in, please let us know for future webinars. We can try to get those scheduled. And of course, if you're interested in talking about how these features and modules can work for you in your organization, definitely reach out. We're more than happy to help out with that process, that migration from Perceptive to OnBase. Thanks.